Alrighty. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are having a great day. We are just about ready, I think, to get through this. Should be a lot of fun. I'm thinking we do some things a little bit differently. We're going to be doing this showcase really quickly for this mission, this map set that we have, as well as planned things for it. Some challenges I've been facing, and what I'd like to happen in the hopefully near future, and then of course, obviously the potential release of this. All of this stuff. I might be releasing it earlier, just so that we can get some feedback, start getting some feedback for it. I'm looking into, well, we'll get into that a little bit, but let me go ahead and transition this over. Anyways, what's up, guys? Good to see you, and hope you guys are having a fantastic night. I am very curious to see how many of y'all are looking forward to this, and I would like something like this in something for you to play and something for you guys to do. And I'm always looking for some good feedback as well, so that's always good. But I think we should kind of get right into it. Kind of just waste little to no time here. Switch over here. I'm not sure if the music is too loud. It's kind of subtly in the background there. It's kind of all right. I might just turn down my side. Oh, that does turn that around as well. That's good. Okay, well, so this mission, I don't really think I've named it anything. I'm kind of just calling it Planet Side. This was one of the operations that I was creating this for the operation on Saturday, last Saturday, as well as it. I was going to use it as a testing point to see if there are any bugs. There definitely were some bugs. So much so that we did not end up doing this operation on last Saturday with the guys. So instead, actually, one second. Okay. Instead, we just did a makeshift because there were some bugs. We weren't able to get this mission up and going for the Saturday operation. We ended up just doing a makeshifts on the spot, more like a fun op, not like a main op type of thing. But this is what we're trying to create for the single player mission experience. The time of day of the setting is going to be not exactly like this. It's probably going to be different. And let's just kind of go through it really quickly. I'll pull the map up and show everything that's here. And kind of the idea on the map, and then show you what assets I have on the ground with blue 4, op 4, that sort of thing, and triggers and whatnot. So story wise, there are a series of objectives that you need to take. The main overall objective is to support the clone unit. We're calling them the 108th Assault Battalion that's here. They're all phase 1 guys. And you're assisting them in their pursuit to take this city here, this main city. You're not going to be the one taking the city. You're going to be the one taking the other objectives to support their efforts in taking the city. That's the idea. So when you first get into the mission, your first objective is to communicate with all the commanders and all the ground assets, friendly assets that you have on the ground that's in the briefing, the descriptions and stuff. I'm a big fan of having information and having to read and decipher information and make decisions based off of that information before you even go do something. And I'm talking about games. Also, like, that's what you do in life anyways. But I like games that try to emulate a certain amount of processing power that the player has to be a part of the decision making, has to make decisions based off of the information they're given to them. I don't want it to feel like a scripted event, I want them to make decisions, and unbeknownst to them, they encounter things that were scripted in if they made this decision to do something, but they think it's unique to them. And that's kind of the whole experience for gaming in general. Let me skip this song really quickly. So for the mission, when you first start off, after you insert, which is going to be in the hold on, I'm just realizing something. There are 2 of these. So part of the reasons why we were having trouble with the last operation was the fact that some things had been changed and moved, which it looks like interesting. Okay, well, I'll have to come back to that afterwards. I might have found a problem that why it wasn't working initially. Anyways, after you start the mission, right, load it up, you'll probably be in one of these squad bays here. This is standard for Ghost of Tsushima stuff anyways. And then you're going to load in, and it'll be marked on your map before you can get loaded in as well and stuff. And I'll probably have a clone out here, a couple clones with information that you can, select, and as if you're talking to them like NPCs, and they'll tell you where to gear up and stuff. I'm going to get into what I want to do later on eventually. Anyways, you're going to get up, get here, geared up, get your gear. Another NPC is going to tell you to move over to the hangar. You're going to get into the hangar. They're going to give you a series of things to help to get ready for the mission, for the single player mission. And one of the things is you're going to be prepping for the operation. So you're going to get assets that you can use later on if you need to. They're going to tell you to do a series of things. I'm not going to say exactly what it is. And then once you have those things in place on staging, then you're going to head to the command on the command element here to get your main briefing. Once you have your main briefing here, this is where you are going to get the main objectives, and this is where you pull up your map, and you're going to see a series of objectives that you're going to want to tackle. One of them is like right away that you have to go do. He's going to tell you the first thing that you need to do, and then from there are other events after you secure your front lines here, and things happen. Then after that point, then you can kind of more or less free roam and go secure other objectives that you need. Yeah, so that's kind of the starting point. And the other objectives are triggered by other events that happen that you secured previous objectives, or you've secured the current objectives, and then that should update your sorry, one second, the music. That should trigger your events for what you need to be tackling on the next set of objectives. One thing that I'm a big fan of in any single player, like something like this, especially in ArmA that's created, is using the assets that are given to you to try to create an immersive experience, right? One of those things is triggers, being able to utilize triggers. That's a bit loud when that music did finally kick in there. Utilizing the triggered events to do small things like unit small movements. So I'm going to just go ahead and jump in here and then show you what I have so far. I should have just jumped in as a Zeus, but whatever. So anyways, yeah, in the what's it called? Just like the campaign for the mission, ArmA is pretty it's pretty janky. We all know that. It's kind of funny. These guys will do their thing. Those guys are only here because they are here for the single player mission. Actually, let's jump into this and kind of just drive around real quick. And then this I'm gonna have to fix later on. Anyway, so first trigger that happens here is a few clones will be sent to the briefing room. What is their briefing area? That's the ATTE pilots, and they'll be sent to. They're going to go walk over to their briefing area that's over there. There are patrols that are patrolling on the outside just for ambience sake, ambiance. There's another trigger that once you trigger this over here, now these guys are activated just to move. This is on your way to go talk to the command element over there. These guys are triggered to go now load up into the vehicles. Let's see if they actually do load up into the vehicles. They're given commands. First, they're separate entities. The next skip waypoint trigger, which we just triggered, causes them to join together, join units, and follow their squad leader. And it looks like it's working because now they're loading up into... There we go. One thing I did, one of the many things that I found that were an issue with the right commands given to the units to load into the ATTEs. And I found the easiest way to do that is to just have the squad leader, which is the sergeant, load, give him the command to load into the ATTE, and then the other units, troopers, are just given the command join. So they join the unit of the squad leader, and then they, of course, the squad leader gets in, they're going to get in. So that's the easiest thing there. There are other clones over there, the other elements for the assaults, that's over there. Then you're going to come over here. You're going to get this prompt after you help stage assets to come over here. And you're going to talk to these guys. You're going to get, you know, what's the word? Information that's here that's going to prompt up. Going to get this information. And it's going to show you on the map exactly where you need to go. Where the front lines are established, and you need to push back the enemy faction to establish a secure front line, so that way you can set up a proper, you know, base of defense and operation area.
Hostiles!
Enemy!
Danger!
Hostiles! Contact! Contact!
And there are vultures. Okay. Yo. I was not expecting that. Yep. Okay, anyways, on with the tour. I'll probably have to make these guys stuck here somehow in case that happens, and everyone else can go do their job, and these guys are stuck here to do their job. I might even move these guys inside, actually, over there. That might be a good idea. It's a good thing I'm going through this. Anyways, then the next series of tasks that you're given is going to be moving to the front lines to secure the objective, the city. Secure the city. The best way to do that is going to be into the ATTEs. Looks like these guys have moved. And we're actually going to jump into here. Actually, no, just kidding. Let's go ahead and back out of this because then there's a lot of noise that's happening in the background over there. Anyways, there's certain triggered events that's going to happen that's before you even get to the front lines. Another triggered, so after you talk to the commander, he gives you what you need to do. He tells you that you need to go check in with the infantry squad that's over here. You come over here, you hit this trigger. This trigger will have these units, individual units, move into the briefing area over here. There'll be someone that's standing here. I haven't put him down yet. To give an actual briefing of, it's going to be a scripted audio log that's gonna initiate after the trigger has been activated. You come here, all the other units get here, and then there's a timer that counts down to the actual audio brief that starts. Once that briefing is given, it ends and tells you what you need to do as well. Load up into the ATTEs over here. There's going to be another script trigger that's triggered after you load into the last one, the last ATTE over here. I have not finished that one yet because this is still created for the event, the Ghost Division operations event. As of right now, this is triggered from... How do I have this set up? Oh, yeah. This will... The pilot will get into here. Like actual pilots, like his Ghost Division operation, and he'll be told to head into a holding pattern. He's going to get up and move along to the holding pattern, which is probably going to be over here somewhere in the water. Him just even flying up and out will trigger these guys after their briefing to push into, start loading into the ATTEs. Once they load into the ATTEs, they're all loaded up. What I haven't figured out yet is how to give the squad leader, like the Ghost Division squad leader command, whatever, a radio activation script where he just scrolls down on his radio activation sort of thing. If you know, you know. If you don't know, don't worry about it. Then he hits like radio activation alpha or something, and that will cause the ATTEs loaded now with the units that are in here to push to the front lines up over here. So they're going to be activated, they're going to move along, and as the ATTEs move along with the player in the rear ATTE, the player passing this trigger here will cause the pilots to load in. And the pilots loading in, after they're loaded into their respective, you know, vehicles, which I will also be switching out for ARCs, they have commands to push out and meet these guys. These guys are supposed to be triggered by, possibly I should have them triggered by this as well. The droid pilots will load up and then they'll push out to meet the, you know, have a little air battle on the outskirts. The ATTEs are then to move along the main road up here to the front lines, where each ATTE is designated to have a certain location that they're supposed to stage at. At each staging point, there is also a get out command by the individual units, squads that are loaded into the ATTEs, and as soon as the ATTE, each of them are in the staging point, that also triggers the squads to get out. I've tried this, I've tested this, works out pretty well. What I have not done as of yet is all the enemy units that are here need to be hidden and then activated and revealed after the ATTEs pass a certain point and they start unloading units. Once they unload units and they get into their respective positions, then they are activated, which I might make when the actual players in the last ATTE pull up the rear, and that's activated by them. So that way, at least most of the AIs are in position before chaos happens. That's probably the most scripted events that I'm going to keep, is just the front immersion part into the initial contact of the CIS droids over here. And then after the players trigger the enemy AI OP4 as seen, I don't know. Ooh, look at that. Let me just fix that. There we go. Then, you know, everything starts. Enemy fire, contact, and then this is your first objective, is to take this whole area here first. There will be more droids that will spawn in here that I need to figure out that script as well. After certain droid or whatever is destroyed or killed, or after they pass a certain point, or AI or even players, after they cross a certain barrier line, then enemy AI spawn here and start filling up these areas. The next objective is to capture and secure this area. Sector control is probably what's going to have to go down. Sector control in this area, and that will give the player a known idea of if he's in control or not in control of the area. And if he's not in control and he's in the area, then that means there's enemy AI in the area. AIs need to be also scripted to come and push in to assist. The player will need to try to open the door. After he opens the door, then maybe he needs to trigger some sort of, I'm kind of thinking out loud at this point, trigger the radio action Bravo or something to move the ATTEs down this road and up here to support. After the area is cleared and rendered clear and safe, we'll probably leave it there. That'll be like mission 1, maybe. He can RTB, rearm, resecure, reassess, and then push over to the next objective from there, which is going to be this base over here. And this one, same thing, pretty much sector control, capture, defend, even. We're going to change that to a defense later on because there's going to be other droids, factions, not factions, but droids, reinforcements that come down the main road from other routes. This is being you need to control this Y here because this is where the main enemy forces need to push their forces to try to retake the city, while Blue 4, the clone forces, move down to try to take the main city. Anyways, so that's kind of the idea for the mission, for the single player mission. Those are some of the beginning assets that we have in place at the base. Oops. And that's what the initial base looks like as far as order of events. What I would like to do is have scripted in recordings of clones doing briefings. Maybe have a decent amount of the clones. You can kind of interact with them and ask them questions, and or they have information on them. You know, like if you were talking to them. I want to make these guys more AI friendly or NPC friendly. How we can do that, I'm not sure. That's something I'm still trying to figure out right now. Maybe for something like this, when you're in a battle, not going to happen. The next stage is more of a roaming and securing a security force on the planet after you've completely taken out all the CIS forces on the planet. Great, that's cool. And then now you're kind of roaming in the city over here. I don't have any assets or any plans for this city. It's mainly the areas up here for the players to try to take, just because it's kind of difficult to try to fill all this space right now. It's a little easier to have things spread out, and then you feel like you're filling space and time, and that's fine. But yeah, so that's what we have so far, and that's what we want to do next, is definitely to create maybe an introduction video. Now I know this means both like having scripted voices in, having like voiceovers, having videos in, having a bunch of maybe scripted events even in. That will take a while for somebody to load in, download the game and actually play the game. I don't know what that side looks like. So hopefully by the end of February, maybe without the actual voiceover stuff, the main assets will be down and triggers will be down, so where we'll just release the game and just kind of start getting some feedback from you guys. And yeah, we'll kind of move on from there. We'll take the feedback and apply things where we need to, and try to keep adding additional things to it as well. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Just wanted to give this kind of a quick rundown for you guys and with you guys. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a good day. That's pretty much it. I don't have anything else other than that. So kind of a cool location. The time of day will be changed for sure. And these guys will not be here because this is just for the multiplayer mission file with the Ghost Division guys. So anyways, hope you guys have a good one. That's pretty much all I have for today. I'm probably going to get on and stream. I'll do some gameplay or something. Probably right after this, or I have so many videos I need to edit as well, so I might just honestly jump onto that. But yeah, cool. Thanks. Like if you guys liked, dislike if you guys dislike. If you have any ideas what else I can add, or things that would make things a little bit maybe even easier. Or you have other, if you're into this kind of thing, or you know someone who's into this kind of thing and they do this as well, shoot them my way. Or just let me know on my Discord. Head down to my Discord, for especially if you guys want updates on streams and stuff that are happening throughout the week, or any other information about this and other live stream events, other things that I'm working on. The Discord is definitely the place to go to for all that kind of information. So yeah, cheers guys, I appreciate it, and I will be seeing you guys later.